Gibson guy.
Yes.
So you have your Gibson Signature Series out.
Very excited about that.
How is that going?
Well, it took about a year to put it together. I've been playing Gibsons now for many years, and I always heard that they're a very hard company to penetrate. Obviously, it's a legendary American brand.
They've been around for a while.
Yeah, they don't exactly need to get their name out there. So they
Right.
so as far as being a junior player, I always thought, how am I going to get support, or how do I secure an endorsement from such a legendary company that really is sort of the Rolls Royce of, you know, American-made instruments. But after playing them, and certainly with the success of the band, you start to get relationships established, and then eventually, I was sort of massaging the idea for many years. You know, wait, everything they would do in Explorer, everything, because obviously the Les Paul is their bread and butter.
Oh, classic, yeah.
So I thought, well, this is a no-brainer because I don't play the Les Paul. I play an Explorer. So maybe you could take somebody who's popular in the metal community like our band is, and you could put an Explorer out, and it would be not taking away from all the players that are already doing the Les Paul.
Right.
It ended up reaching the right person, and we pushed it through, and it's been awesome. And as I went to Nashville and to celebrate the first line, for the first run of guitars that came off the line, I went out and got myself a Gibson tattoo run on my hand, and I showed this to Henry, the president, and he was very impressed. Now I really have an endorsement for life, right?
And you mean it, clearly.
I mean it, yeah, right?
Forever and for always.
Yeah, no, they've been fantastic. And the guitar is different than any other Explorer that's been made. Obviously, you saw the ones that I did myself, and they're chop that wood out of there so I can free access to the high frets.
As a lead player, that makes good sense.
Yeah, beveled out that under my arm. We sort of did an exaggerated bevel there, and it's really comfortable. Anyone that plays the guitar is like, it really is super comfortable. And probably the biggest thing that I noticed that's different from the old Explorers that you would find is that we did super jumbo frets. They're like the Zakk Wylde, the biggest fret you can get. And
I used to have a 1985 Explorer.
Okay, like an E2 maybe?
Yes.
Really?
So I know exactly.
It's kind of like that. It's basically built for shredders, metal, high performance. It kind of takes the classic shape, but it has details on it that are more meant for the racing player.
Now, what is the body?
But the body is the mahogany neck, mahogany.
Okay.
Mahogany neck, mahogany body. The fretboard is granadillo.
That's interesting.
We couldn't. Ebony was my first choice. We couldn't go with ebony because they have no ebony in stock. But
there's another story behind that.
Yeah, but they have. There was like maybe 5 or 6 different fretboard materials available.
And that's the closest to ebony that
they made one. It was funny because they made one prototype for each, so I could try them all. So
okay.
So I really had a chance to properly, compare.
And ebony's nice because the notes fire out very fast.
Yeah, well,
that's why a lot of people gravitate to it.
I like it dense and hard. I don't like too much grain. To me, grain is friction, and friction means
Rosewood's a little softer or squishier each time you pick the note. It kind of gives down a little, or compress or squishy.
I want it to be
Ebony's very articulate and fast.
I want it to be smooth, hard, and dense. I don't want to feel anything slowing me down.
And what kind of pickups do you use in the guitar?
The Seymour Duncan. Yeah, Seymour Duncan's. I got the JB, which I believe is the Jazz Bridge.
JB usually goes in the bridge.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people think it's the Jeff Beck.
Right. Correct. Right. I get that a lot myself.
Right. Yes. The JB, the Jazz Bridge, in the bridge position, and then the neck is a 59. I don't actually use the neck pickup that much.
Okay.
In the models that I had made myself before the Signature, I would just rip the front pickup out.
Okay.
Just because I thought that looked cooler. But I think we decided that for the commercial release, let's have 2 pickups available.
It might be good.
Yeah.
Tends to sell better.
Yeah, well, yeah, for the, we can't...
Tonal options, if you will.
Tonal options, right.
Right.
And they suggested that the 59 was a nice complement to the JB, so that's why that's in there.
Nice.
Yeah.
And in keeping with talking tone, what speakers do you gravitate to?
Well, you know what I like. Celestion, baby.
And here's the irony. I happen to wear this shirt only because
that's right.
I grabbed it this morning, ironically. But I'm a Celestion person. I love Celestion too.
Vintage 30s. I know that, I mean, I keep trying to experiment with other Celestion speakers, but I think that the one that I guess that I'm familiar with and that is pleasing to me is the Vintage 30. It has a squeak to it that I like.
I think that while some players will say that it can be a little brighter, edgy, but when you consider shifting the frequencies down when you're tuning down, then you would need some of that clarity.
Exactly. It's a totally different ballgame. And as far as, I mean, I always thought the speaker sounded great anyway, but especially because, like you said, we're in baritone tuning, so to have a little bit of that crispy,
it's a good thing to give some clarity back to it, or that mid cut, as you like to call it.
All of my recording is done with. I've been recording with the same setup since day one, and that is my JCM 800 with a super overdrive and a 280 watt cab with vintage 30. Yes. Nice.
For live tone versus recorded tone, what's different for you? Do you gravitate clearly to a different rig?
Well, my part of the challenge for the live concert is not just getting one great tone, but I need like 5 or 6. That has sort of been a problem because I have to have a great rhythm sound. I'd like to have a lead boost. Obviously, all the effects. I need a crystal clean sound for some songs. I need a jangly clean sound for like Bad Company and things like that. And I mean, it's just a lot to ask from a head.
That's true.
So
it's like 6 channels.
Right. Well, yeah, exactly.
That's a little tough.
So I kind of mix and match, but I certainly do like the flexibility of the preamp stuff. The MIDI preamps, just because.
There's a lot of tonal options too.
A lot of tonal options. You can have all of your variety of sounds. You can even go back and experiment and save them and go, let's try this bank of sounds. Oh, I screwed it up. It's not as good. Go back to the first one. I mean, There's a lot of flexibility there. And so, especially in heavy metal, it's such a barrage of volume and that I think that, for me, the flexibility of having a good tool live has ended up being more important than the details of meticulous tone. But I do like I said, when I record, I'm very picky about the way it sounds and the way it's recorded, because that's, you can get those details onto a recording.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And then it lives there forever.
Thank you, Trace.
You're most welcome.
Check out voodooamps.com. They do fantastic work, and I've been supporting the company for a long time, and I can say I've made a great friend.
Absolutely.
And
truly.
Rock on, keep it metal.